Hi friends, this is Magical Book Garden and today it's only Buttercup because we have to film it separately because it would be so long. So this is my top 10 books of 2021 and I just have to say beforehand that I've had so many other amazing books, but the top 10 is the top 10 and it was a really difficult choice. I try to do like a 10 to 1 system where I'm gonna say the 10th best one first and then the best of the best at the end. But like this is not a real list with numbers because all of them are so good. The first one was The Conjuring of Light by V. Schwab. This is the first, no, this is the third book in the Shades of Magic trilogy, and it's about this world where there are different colors for London, and I think a lot of people know about this trilogy and this world, so this is the final one, and there's an epic battle, there are magic ships and magical pirates and magic prince and everything that is just really cool. I love the new characters, I loved how they turned out from the first one and how they progressed, so it was just really good. Some parts were like not my favorite because it's a YA book, so the solutions are a bit simple, but I just enjoyed it so much. Sorry, I forgot one because this is the only one that I don't have the physical copy, but in my top 10 I have The Empress of Salt and Fortune. It's a really cool book. It's the first one of the Singing Hills cycle, which are all about a non-binary monk who is traveling around this fantasy land inspired by Asia, I think East Asia, and it's about him listening or telling stories about these amazing magical things. And the first one is about an empress who gets married to a big emperor, and actually she becomes very powerful and she has all these adventures, and there's a lot of political intrigue and a sapphic romance, and it's just so wholesome, full of Asian folklore fantasy. I just loved it so much. It touched me so much, and the magic world and the atmosphere was just amazing. I really want to continue this one. The next one is The Humans, which was Anna's, I think, third favorite book from last year. And actually, we have a game that, and in the beginning of a year, we read the favorite one of each other. But the first two ones were like I read one of them and already, and the other one was part of a series, so I picked this one, and this is a sci-fi about an alien who is sent to Earth to disguise as a professor who has reached some results that will advance humanity in a stage that they are not ready yet. So he's sent there to basically destroy all evidence and everyone who knows about it. And he actually comes to really like being a human and like the dysfunctional family of this terrible professor. The next one was also a YA fantasy. This is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the follow-up duology to Shadow and Bone, and I loved it much more. The atmosphere was better, I think, in the Shadow and Bone for me because I loved that magical school, magic Russia vibe a little more, but this is about a heist. This has like fantasy people in it, some Grishas who have powers of elements and of tools, and the characters are just so well written. They are all OP, so everyone is like very dark and mysterious, and some are morally grey, but everyone enjoys it for a reason. And this is a very pretty foiled edition. Hi, it's Buttercup from the future, and actually, I forgot to mention the 10th book that I really enjoyed last year. So it was Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman, and it's a prequel to the famous book and movie Practical Magic, and it's about the first Owens witches who started this whole curse that has all the women of the family. And it's a historical fiction fantasy, and I just really loved how the magic worked and how the story told about witches and their home remedies and their relationship with powerful men who were really envious of their power. So it's a great book. The next one is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I know everyone has been raving about it for years on Booktube, and it's everyone's favorite. Taylor Jenkins Reid is amazing. This is a fake memoir of an actress, Evelyn Hugo, who was a poor Latina girl and became a superstar, and it's about her life and her love and the 7 husbands that she married. And basically she's telling the story of this one interviewer, and she insists on that she is the one that can cover her story, and she is gonna tell at the end who was her real love. And it's so heartbreaking. I was sobbing. My poor heart. Okay, the next one was so amazing. I loved it so much. I gave it to my mom and she read it and she loved it so much. It's Where the Crawdads Sing. And actually Jack Edwards said that every time he gets on the tube someone is reading it, so maybe the pages are foiled with crack. But it's just so good. And I think the Hungarian edition is so much more beautiful. I don't want to brag, but it's amazing. And it's about a small marsh village and a girl who is left alone to like basically grow up all by herself in the marshes, and she becomes this mysterious bog girl, and she starts relationships first with one guy who is really nice and who is really interested in nature and all the findings there in the marshes, and then basically a fuckboy, and it's about her story. And when the fuckboy is found dead, they suspect her. So it's a crime story, a mystery story, but it's more about the beautiful nature, and it's just the whole book. These are all quotes. You can quote the whole thing. It's so beautiful. You have to read it. And I also recommended it to one of my coworkers because she said that, yeah, everyone is recommending it, but I read the synopsis and I wasn't really into it, and I wasn't either. Like, love story and maybe crime, not really my thing, but this is amazing. Everyone's gonna love it. Read it. We came to the very top, the top 3. Number 3 is House of Leaves by Marek Danielewski, maybe. I don't know the guy's nationality, but this is fantastic. This is weird architecture porn, so it's gonna be amazing for me, you know that. And it's a story within a story within a story within a story. It's very complicated. It's about a young guy who works at a tattoo shop, and he and his friend discover an old man dead in his apartment, and after it's cleaned they find a truck, or what is that, a bag, and they find a diary there which is an essay collection on a documentary about a house. And the weird thing is that the main character Johnny gets really sucked into this diary, and he actually finds out that this documentary doesn't even exist, and the guy who wrote the essay collection is actually blind. So if there is a lost documentary film, he couldn't see it. So it's very, very weird, and there are a lot of additional materials about it. So the research for this was like a pain in the ass. Like it was so amazing. It's so complicated, and actually there are a lot of additional research parts that are imaginary, that he just created, and there are the ones that I know from literature and from architecture. So there are real ones and there are made up ones, and you can see pages like this, and sometimes they indicate how something moves and how something forms. And the documentary is actually about a house. This has some really cool pages. It's quite experimental. And the documentary is about a house that is expanding. It's bigger on the inside. And one day it's not just expanding, but he finds a completely dark corridor, and every time he visits it, it's longer and longer, and there's a big staircase in it, and I just don't want to say anything else about it because you have to discover it for yourself. It's a very slow read because you really have to digest everything that happens in it, and you become by the end like Johnny, quite obsessed, and you can't sleep, and it's very, very atmospheric. So good, but so difficult. The next one is also architecture porn, and it is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. So it's about a world that is only a house, and this house consists of giant halls of statues and sculptures, and the main character is, like, he doesn't have a name, but there is only one other person in this world that is called the Other, and actually this Other calls him Piranesi, and this guy is living in these halls, in these conditions, and he is getting the gifts of the house, and this world is like, there is nothing outside, but the sea comes in, and there are a lot of waves and tides and all that, and he gets accustomed to it really well, and he lives off fishing and meets with the others, and he gets these traditional gifts of the house, like fish and beauties of the halls and sculptures and things to eat and seaweed, but actually the Other gets some fancy stuff like shoes and vitamins and all that. It's really mysterious, and he just wants to know what's happening. He's doing research with the Other, and the Other is telling him that there's an evil person coming for them. So yeah, this is really cool, really mysterious, really weird, and it's on the top of my list. There's only one that beat it. So yeah, I enjoyed it so much. It's actually so quotable. Everything is a quote. And I am the blessed child of the house. And the best of the best, the top one is the fifth season. The fifth season. Everyone is raving about it, and it's for a reason. It rhymed. Oh my god. It's so cool. It's like speculative fiction, like more like fantasy, but a little bit sci-fi, and it's about our world, maybe dystopian, probably, and there are actually 5 seasons, like the regular seasons that we know, and the 5th season, which is shit happens, and it comes in like a couple of 100 years, but it's pretty rough. Natural disasters happen, species go extinct, rocks fall from the sky, so it's pretty hard, and it's always a race of can humanity survive this one. And there are some people with magical capabilities. These are called the orogenes, and they can manipulate the earth and the tectonics, and actually they are not treated as like high-class heroes. They are treated as pariahs and the possible people who are responsible for the seasons. And our main characters, all the 3 of them are orogenes, and one of them is training to be one of them is hiding from her past, and one of them is just on her way to fulfill a quest. I want to keep it really vague because I don't want to spoil anything, but it is so good. It's so inclusive. There are a lot of sexualities represented, a lot of races. It's amazing, but hard and heartbreaking and punches you in the gut, and the whole series is amazing, but it started with this first one. So this is my baby, my favorite. thank you for joining me in this journey. Please read all these books if you can. If you haven't read them already, I can only recommend them. They are some serious gourmet shit. Bye!